Always have to double check when I do that too.
Double check what?
To make sure that the stream is going.
Oh, I know. I have it running on my other computer too, just so I can see that it's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
Is it happening? Is it doing the
It's
thing?
happening! I don't know. I need to look at it.
Looks like it's happening to me. I see us. I got a letter in my inbox that said we're live. Looks like it's happening. I get to tweet the deets about it. Yeah.
Ah! Some fake Twitter news account said that that Mark Hamill passed away today, and then Mark Hamill retweeted it.
I saw that, and I was like, oh God, thank you.
Yeah, don't rush me already.
I know. That was really funny.
It's like, don't you dare die on us.
Don't you dare.
Like, we need to at least keep him here until episode 9's over.
Please. Just don't die.
Don't. If you could just not die, that would be great.
Yeah. Like, just
that would be fantastic. Let me see if I can get. Oh, I went to my Twitch thing by accident.
Oh,
I've been doing that every day for a week almost.
You've been twitching it up, showing off your love rocket runs.
The lack of the love rocket.
Yeah.
Complete with custom pink overlay.
You made an overlay for the love rocket runs, and it's pink.
It's very pink.
It's very pink.
The only love rocket that's on it is the one that's on the overlay. So that's probably the only one that we're going to see this year.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of people who have not gotten it again. People that are just like, I'm done. I'm so tired of this. Yeah. Every single day.
Yeah. But, I can't. I won't get it unless I try. Right. So I have to at least try.
You feel like I'm doing everything in my power to try. Like, it's happening that I am doing everything in my power.
Exactly. At the end of the day, the only thing that I can blame is RNG.
Yep.
Can't blame myself.
Yeah.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, your stick-to-itiveness is I mean, it was even recognized by Convert to Raid.
Was that you or was that
That was Pat.
See, I thought. Do you see my my reply?
And Pat,
that's how it felt.
He announced that there was no show for Convert to Raid because it was on Valentine's Day, and so of course they're like, no show tonight, and said, go and get those love rocket runs in, right, Mark Conan? Wow, and. Mark Conan sent back the picture of Selena Gomez trying to smile with tears in her eyes.
Yeah, that whole smile crying thing. That's kind of how I felt.
Too funny.
Not funny. It's too soon.
I know. But it's not over yet. Like, you have not crossed the finish line and not gotten it. So it's still there. It's still a possibility.
It is still there. I still have whatever 33 times 4 is. That many attempts at least. 32. Plus the ones I need to finish tonight. So I may make some more characters tomorrow.
We can see Pixie walking on your TV.
Hello, sweetie. She's trying to get up top.
Yeah. That's funny. She just keeps trying, like, back, up, down.
No. Don't you dare get on there. Don't do it.
She's turned around. The overlay is not showing it. She's just looking at him like...
She's staring at me just like...
What did I do?
You can't get on that shelf.
And then she goes back down.
Thank you. I'd much rather you be in my lap than up there knocking stuff over.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now she's just staring at me like, okay, I'm down. Now what?
Now what do you want from me? You paid attention to me.
What are we doing now?
What's going on? What's happening? That's funny.
She's standing on my foot right now. Weirdo. Weird cat.
Yeah. Yeah. My cats have been quite weird lately too. Just on the weird kick. The zoomies have been real. A lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
Spike got a serious case of them on Valentine's Day. I took a picture of him and put him on Twitter with his big old eyes.
Oh, yeah. I saw that picture.
Lord,
That was
he
really
was just
cute.
running around the house. And I'm like, dude. And he just sits there and yowls. And then he runs. And then he yowls. And I'm like, what is going on with you, freak?
I don't know.
I just have to get it out of my system, Mom.
We got to do this.
Yes, yes, yes.
It has to happen.
And greetings, chat room. Greetings, guests. Thank you for coming to visit us this evening on a Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys are enjoying your week. It is.
Yeah.
Feels like
hope
a
we had a
week.
wonderful. Yeah. It really did feel like a long week. I was very glad to get off work today.
Oh, I'm
to
sure.
know that I had a whole weekend ahead of me.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It has been it's been a week of trying to get ready for Orlando next week.
That's right. Yeah.
So I'm not going. It's the cat like poking her head over. So we leave Wednesday for Orlando, and we're going to be there for a podcast conference. And so trying to get ready for that, like it's just been, and then of course Pat had scheduled a vacation to go to Colorado to visit his brother and sister. And he left yesterday. And so we were like frantic this week trying to get stuff done before he left, because he comes home Sunday. He's got 2 days, and then we head back out again on Wednesday. So it's like, I just kept saying, if it wasn't for the last minute, nothing would get done, because good Lord, we're in the middle of designing a logo to put on a postcard, and we've got to get it done today. And he's like in the car on the way to get his hair cut before his flight leaves in 3 hours. And we're still trying to design this logo. This was yesterday. And I'm like, oh, jeez. Like, this is killing me. So, but the good news is that the postcard is in the hands of the printer. It will be done by Tuesday, and we will be good to go. So, that's
good.
Yay. But, good Lord. I am actually going to honk my nose. I'm going to mute it on the stream, but you'll be able to hear it. I'll be right back.
Okie doke. Oakley dokley. Oh man, it has been quite a week. Now she's growling at me.
Was she growling at you? You said?
She was, yeah. I kind of put, like, I accidentally kind of nudged her a little bit when she was on the desk, and she went, oh.
She gave you the grumbles.
Just a little bit.
That's
like,
funny.
she's fine. She's okay.
She got this. We got this.
Oh yeah. Girl, you acting like you're all mad. You ain't mad.
You ain't mad. You ain't nothing.
You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing.
Oh, rest in peace, Michael Jackson.
I saw this documentary when I was on lunch the other day at work about Prince. It was talking about all the charitable things he did, and he was like, "Don't tell anybody," because he didn't want the fame of it. He was just doing a whole lot of good.
That was George Michael too. He was very much.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, like.
Cool.
that after he passed away, all of this stuff was coming out about all this charitable stuff that he'd done that he did without people knowing specifically. Like, he didn't want to be known for it. And so, but it was incredible how much stuff he had been doing charitably. And so, yes, there are still good people in this world.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a good thing.
They just don't want the publicity of it. They just want to do good. They don't care that anybody knows.
Yeah, I think that's pretty damn awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty damn awesome.
I think so too.
So, hey, chat room, are you guys? Let me ask Marconin. Are you ready? Are you ready to maybe do a poll here?
Oh, I think so.
Hey, chat room, are you guys ready? For this special presentation of Tauren Think Tank. I'm so happy when I have new things on my soundboard. You have no idea.
Oh, man.
I love that sounder. I love it. It's one of my favorite things, like the memories of watching television and hoping that it was like something like Battle of the Network Stars or something like that. That was going to be the special that was on that night. Because you just never knew. That's like, it brings back so many memories. That is thanks to Ben Baumhofer from Azeroth Roundtable, because we were talking about that on their pre-show last week, and I'm like, I need that for my soundboard, and he's like, here you go. He just went and got it for me. So I think there's a poll in here. There's an indicator of poll in here. Sounds good to me. Are you ready, sir? Are you stalking any further eBay auctions?
No.
Okay.
I just retweeted this really cute picture of so this guy said, ready to form Voltron. Wait a minute. And he's got the 4 smaller lions on either side of a black cat that's just laying on it. He's just laying on his side looking at him. I was like, oh, that's so cute.
That is awesome.
So I had to do that real quick.
Oh, that's awesome. Love it.
Oh, there's more cute cat pictures.
Of course.
You get away from the cute cat pictures.
There's always cute cat pictures. Like,
there we go.
Your cat is like hovering. Okay. I can see her behind you. I can see her, but
she's just lurking around.
She's like, am I able to muscle in here? Do the thing. All right,
Silly
folks.
kitty.
Should we do a show? Let's do a show. Shall we?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do this episode 220, starting in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 220 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, February 16th, 2017. It is 8:03 p.m. in Central Standard Time. And I'm Jules. And I'm here again. And Marconin's doing some chair dancing on the other side of the country in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Just a little chair dancing.
Just a little chair
Kick
dancing in
weekend.
Little Rock. Hi, Marconin. And there's a cat on your chair behind your head.
Yes, there is. Hello.
Hello, kitty. She has been very...
She heard we were starting.
Yeah, she heard we're starting the show, so it was time for her to make herself present on camera. She's so cute. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, good. It is
doing well. Other than not having a love rocket yet. That's the main thing.
Do you know how many attempts that you have taken since it started last week?
Not including the ones that I'm like halfway through with today. 262.
Wow.
So, yeah. I've been keeping track. I have a spreadsheet to make sure I don't miss any. And it's a lot.
I mean, it makes sense that you have, even though it sounds like uber nerdy. Like, it still makes sense that you have a spreadsheet, because I would totally lose track of who I've run it on and who I haven't every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, ever since they announced that level 16s and higher could do it, I was like, oh man, that was like, oh, that's a great thing. That means I don't have to like really be hardcore to level up all of these characters to 110. I can just sit there and they can just level them up. And then I thought, oh, that means that I can level up more characters to level 16 in like an hour and a half,
right?
And I can have more chances. So instead of it being less stressful, in some ways it's more stressful, because I'm like, okay, I have even more characters to do, because the only thing that I can't control is RNG. So I know that in the end, if I don't get it, that it was out of my control.
Yeah.
The only thing I can control is how many characters I throw at it. And if I throw all those characters at it and it still doesn't drop, then I'm like, well, I did all I could.
Yeah.
So I can't just be mad at myself that it didn't drop. I can just blame RNG and be mad at Blizzard.
But yeah, it actually kind of opened a different conundrum. Like, you were completely limited to the number of top level characters that you used to be able to run it on. So it was the amount of time that you could put in to get level 110 now. And now you've gotten the playing field is like wide open, but that means, for one account, the maximum number of times that you could do that would be 50 a day, because you can have 50 tunes on one account. Yeah.
Yeah, and I have 33 characters right now that can run it.
It's insane. It's insane. And so,
yeah,
and then you're, like, you want to be like Marconin. I really, really want this. I really want to get this rocket.
I know, and I run it as many times as I can every year.
Yeah.
Even as early as last year, before they reset the timers to where that the dailies reset later in the day, I got up super, super extra early in the morning on the day that it went away, on the week after Valentine's Day. And as soon as the servers reset, I was queuing again before work. I'm sitting there in my work uniform, just queuing and doing as many of them as I can before I absolutely have to go to work. And I still didn't get it.
I know. And it's
well.
It's hard. It's like you're looking at it going, ugh. And like, for me, I don't really have any desire to I don't have a desire to get them out, but someone asked me, they're like, hey, you want to come along with me to do this? And they really want it. And I'm like, no, I don't want to go with you, because what would happen if I got it and you didn't? Like, our friendship would be over. Like,
no, it wouldn't.
But
it wouldn't be over.
I would just feel so bad to get that and then see someone who's been like really super trying on all of their characters to do it. So I told this friend, no, I'm like, I'm not going to go with you, because I would feel terrible if I got it and you didn't, when I didn't really want it. Not that it would actually, like, I wouldn't have been stealing it from anybody. It's all personal loot, but it's just the principle of the thing. I'm like, I can't do it.
I almost wish it was I almost wish that it was, like a roll thing, so that, if you took friends in there, they could all roll and just trade it to you.
Yeah, that's the problem.
In some ways, I wish that you could do that.
But then there'd be drama if it were just that way, because everybody running it as just a preformed group, like, super drama. Like, people you don't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you just queue up an LFR, if the two of us went in and did it, going in knowing that if it dropped and either one of us got it, that you would trade it to me. Just like if the Horseman did it, I would trade the Horseman's mount to you.
Right.
Same thing, and then it's not really ninja looting, because you're still rolling with the other three people.
You're increasing your odds.
You're just stacking the deck.
Yeah, you're increasing your odds, but I don't think there is a way they could do it that would make everybody happy, and so it's going to be something that
they could just make it for sale for like 1,000 of those lovely charms or whatever.
Right.
If they just did that, then I would be okay. I was like, I just want it. Like, this is the most stressful 2 weeks out of the year for mount collectors that don't have it.
Yes.
Because like, it's such a limited duration.
Yeah.
And it's so much rarer than any of the other ones. I don't know why that they decided to make it so much more rare than either of the Brewfest mounts or the Headless Horseman mount.
Yeah.
They just, for some reason, they're like, it breaks the continuity and the way you think about it's a rocket in a fantasy world. We have motorcycles and flying goblin things, and you think that breaks the lore, but a rocket doesn't.
Yeah, the motorcycles, like, they don't really have a leg to stand on with the choppers anymore.
Yeah, and the spaceships in Area 52. I mean, come on. It's like it breaks the lore and it takes you out of the game. I'm a 2-foot tall magic wielding wizard standing next to a space goat. What? They flew in on a spaceship.
I know.
And you're being mad about a spaceship, and you're mad about a rocket.
And Tiger makes a good point. Is that it's a 2-seater mount, right?
No, the Love Rocket is not.
It's not, but that's the recruiter friend one is.
Yeah, the recruiter friend, the X-53 is, but the Pink Love Rocket is not. It's the same model as the X-51, the red and the blue ones from the TCG. The old TCG, and that's the other coloration of it, is the pink one.
Gotcha.
So maybe because it's pink, maybe that's why they made it so, like, because pink doesn't exist in the fantasy world, I guess.
I know.
But, I mean, people would stop. You know, I would ride around on it for like a month solid, just so happy that I got it. Then after that, I'd be like, I want to ride a dragon, or I want to ride on the tiger, or I want to ride on this, or ooh, another shiny mount, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how it is with mount collectors. Like, yeah, we really want it, but we just want to throw it in with all the other 300 some odd mounts we've got in the back.
I know.
But it's just,
It's just the not having it is the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it being so rare. But, you know, if I don't get it, then oh well, because I'm going to try and get the archaeology moose tomorrow, because that's the weekly archaeology quest.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of free time tomorrow, so after my rocket runs, I'm going to get that. And that's a step in the right direction. It's another one to my collection, so
nice.
We'll just do that.
Nice. Mount runs galore.
So while I've been slaving away in Shadowfang Keep for hours a day, literally 3 hours a day in there, constantly, what have you been up to this week, Jules?
So I've actually been working on my my alchemy for my main.
Oh yeah.
And the challenge. So I was on Azeroth Roundtable this week on Friday, and we were talking about professions and kind of our lamenting about how professions of Legion have not been very enjoyable for a lot of people because they're so grindy.
Yeah.
You really have. I mean, for alchemy to be able to make flasks, you go on a very, very long quest chain, which takes you through dungeons, mythic dungeons. You have to pick up stuff in a raid, I think. I think it's raid. I'm not sure. But it's a long quest chain to be able to do it. And then what they do is they lock you down to, you can only make these at level 1. You can only make these at the specific table in Dalaran that you can produce these at. You can't make them while you're in any place else until you level it up to level 2, which is annoying. So it's a lot of work. Level 3, which means that you can now proc additional flasks at any random points, takes basically just making them to hopefully get the recipe to drop. And flasks are they're so expensive with the materials. So frustrating. So what I do is I go out and I farm Starlight Roses for hours. And I'll, like on the weekends when I'm watching HGC, I'm out there just grinding out, farming Starlight Rose. And then I'm able to, and because of that, I get a lot of Blood of Sargeras, which I can buy herbs for the other herbs, which are a pain to farm because there's just not enough nodes out there. I make the flasks. And I see if the recipe procs, and if I don't, then they sell them. I sell them on the auction house, which is great. I make a bunch of gold, and I can buy more herbs, and I can make more flasks. Awesome, right? So I've gotten 2 of the 4 to level 3. I've gotten the recipe drop on 2 of the 4. The rest of it has just been like, I've made so many damn flasks that they just won't drop. And it's driving me crazy because I just want all 4 of them and just be done with it. So I keep doing it, and I keep doing it. The nice thing is I'm making buckets of gold for selling these flasks, because most of them sell for 800 gold a piece. So it's a nice way to make some money. But that's what I've been doing a lot of my free time, like which isn't a lot. Like, I don't have a lot of time to just do that, but I'll do it on the weekends because I love watching HGC. So Heroes Global Championship. So I'll watch that, and I'll just be like picking herbs as they're doing the drafts and stuff like that. So, I was on the Azeroth Roundtable, and we did discuss the big thing with the WoW token and the big changes that they made with the WoW token being now transferred to the BattleNet balance. So I went out and bought a WoW token for $20, and I wanted to see what this experience was like. And I actually learned a lot from it. I learned, so I was watching it. I was watching how the market was fluctuating on it, which was kind of cool.
Yeah,
and I sold it
is
for,
really cool.
Yeah, I sold it for 98,000 gold.
Nice.
Yeah, but what I didn't know was I thought you posted it and then someone had to buy it, like the normal auction thing. Like, someone's gonna have to bid it at that price and buy it. And it was up there for hours, and the price just starts going down and down and down and down because there was more demand. There was more supply than demand, and I'm like, well, crap, I'm not gonna lose. And it was like 78,000 gold. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to lose all that money. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get it back and I'll wait for it to go back up. And actually, Ro tweeted me and said that once you post it, you get the amount of the gold that you posted it at. It just takes a while. And I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's how it worked.
Yeah, no matter how the market fluctuates, at the moment you sell it, that's a guaranteed amount of gold that you'll get.
Yeah. So I wound up... selling that, and I made 98,000 gold, and then I bought one at 76,000 gold when it dropped. So I was able to come out with a profit, and then in net I spent $5 total of my own money, and I got $15 of BattleNet balance out of it. Is that
not bad?
That's kind of how it worked out. So it was like, okay, well, I get this. And then Lucio came out on Heroes, and I wound up buying him with my BattleNet balance. So
there you go.
Yay! But it's still I spent the money, and I didn't really earn the gold. It was like I bought the token, I got gold, I spent the gold on getting another token, and then I turned it into BattleNet balance. So basically, I still had $20. It's just
it's a fun experience,
It was. I like what it's doing for the games and the ability to be able to so let's say I turn this flask making thing into this gold making empire, and all of a sudden I can start buying these tokens. And all of a sudden, I'm getting free money to be able to buy my heroes skins, my heroes mounts, my new heroes, maybe some Overwatch stuff if I get into that. It's kind of cool. I have the ability to transfer the time that I spend in the game to stuff that would have monetary cost otherwise.
Yeah, it's a really awesome system, and I'm so glad they put it in.
Yeah.
And then expanded it to the BattleNet balance. It just makes sense because all the money stays in house. Blizzard keeps it, and they even get a little profit on it. Every token gives them $5.
Yeah.
No matter what they do.
You're making, and so it's an interesting way to look at it, and I'm sure I'm sure they're just taking their money and just flinging it in the air and going, "Yay, money!" It's just we're just loving the fact that we make lots of money. So I've actually been gaming a lot more than I have been recently, even though it's kind of frantic right now. Because next week we will not have a show because I will be in Orlando. I'm going to travel to Orlando for a podcast conference with Pat Crane. And there actually is a meetup going on next Saturday. If you are in the Orlando area, it's been posted on our Twitter accounts and that kind of thing. And if you want to know the information, you can just send us an email to the show, email to questions@taurenthinktank.com, and I can send that to you. It's a meetup.com. It actually was not created by us. It was created by some other folks who do meetups in the area, but we know them. Root and Freckleface from Hearthcast, and Cuddles, aka the game case. And so so they created the meetup. We're going to be there on that Saturday. So it's kind of cool. I know, it's kind of cool. I'm like excited that I'm going to be in like 80-degree temperatures next week. So
you're going to get spoiled coming down to the south.
Seriously, I'm like
all this warm weather.
All this warm weather you guys have, it's pretty darn sweet. So yeah, anything else that you want to talk about this going on before we get into the show? We've been talking for 20 minutes already. My God.
Yeah, we have. I mean, really not much. I mean, Love Rocket's been taking up most of my time.
Yeah.
So yeah. that's about all I got.
All right, well then let's do a show, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Let's kick around some ideas, not gnomes.
So true. Ideas, not gnomes. Somebody in Dalaran's gonna stand there with a sign that says that someday.
Ideas, not gnomes.
Right. Okay, so we have a discussion topic this week, and a PSA to our lovely listeners. We are out of emails from you folks, you awesome Moo Crew. So apparently everything is awesome in your lives and you have no problems that you want to talk about. So, which is, I know, not true, but I know everybody's been super busy. But we are open for emails, topic suggestions, dilemmas, specific questions. And you've got 2 weeks because we're not going to be here next week. So send them on in. And this week we got a submission from our Discord server that came from Perfect Nomad, our friend Perfect Nomad. We thought it would be a good one to talk about tonight. He said, "Well, not too much of a personal issue for me. I know I've experienced sensory overload in a high-stress environment. For example, feeling uncomfortable when surrounded by people, loud noises, and maintaining your cool, like at conventions, parties, shopping, etc. What do you guys think?"
Yeah, it's something that a lot of people do struggle with. I mean, even with me, when I'm, as kind of extroverted as I get when I'm in a place that I understand and I'm already familiar with, whenever it's something new, I kind of turtle up and I get very, uncertain. I feel very, very out of place, very, like people are staring at me, and I just kind of like, I just want to be out of this situation. I just get that urge, that flight response just kind of kicks in.
Yeah, it's that.
So I can definitely understand that. That
really uncomfortable feeling like I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know where to look. I don't know if I should smile. Am I smiling too big? Is this smile creepy? I should look away. Okay. Oh no, don't. Why am I? Okay, no. Where am I going? Where are my eyes? Yeah, you don't know what to do.
Yeah, I mean nowadays with the carrying basically a computer in your pocket, it's a convenient thing to just be able to take your phone out.
Yeah.
And like start checking Twitter or your email or texting somebody, which kind of changes the game a little bit too. Like look at my Cronin right now. He doesn't know what to do, and so he's just gonna text or he's gonna check Twitter because he was trying to remember there was something that he wanted to tell me about. But I remember, thinking back to the days where we didn't carry an electronic device in our pocket. Like, let's go back a while.
Oh, wow. Back in time.
Back in time. I mean, we're going back to about 2005, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. 2007, roughly. I mean, I think I got my first iPhone in 2009. I remember having that. In any case, it was a lot harder. It was a lot more uncomfortable. Like, what do I do with my hands? And do I make eye contact with people? Do I not? Parties are hard for me. I think parties are one of the hardest things because, especially when you don't know anybody.
Oh yeah.
A recent experience that I had, in actually last May, I came here to Minneapolis. I was here for the weekend house hunting, and I was staying with Pat and his wife, and they were like, hey, we've got a birthday party to go to for a friend of ours, and they said you were more than welcome to come. It's going to be this big thing, like a big party in their house. There's going to be lots of people, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, the introvert in you is like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, because I know I can like turn on the charm and everything when I'm around other people, but there were 4 people I knew total at that party. It was Pat and his wife and their friends Deb and Tara, a couple that I'd met numerous times and I would be comfortable with, and but the problem is that everybody knows each other and they don't know me. And so it's just this weird, like, that awkward feeling of trying to, I struggle with this. I'm like, when someone says, hi, this guy, this is Adam. He's our friend. He lives here. Oh, cool. And then they say, hey, this is Jules. She's thinking about moving. She's going to be moving up here soon. And they're like, oh, cool. Where are you going to come from? And then the conversation goes, because then they turn to each other. Yeah. And then they turn to each other and they're like sharing all the stuff that they have in common with each other because the conversation just flows. And I'm sitting there going, where's my phone?
Do you guys own any cats?
I know, right? Then there's like a cat that runs by at this party and I'm like, cat! Yes! Like, oh, what a pretty kitty. What's the name? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then you become like, I've done that numerous times. When I was working for 6 months in Houston several years back. Yeah, I went there at one of the stores. I befriended one of the guys there, and then they had a house party where I knew 2 people. Yeah, and that was him and his girlfriend. Yeah, and that was it. And it was like 20 people, and they're talking about sports and doing their drafts for their fantasy football and. And they're cooking and do all this other stuff. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. Oh, look, a kitty cat. And so I befriended their cat and they're like, he doesn't usually like strangers. And I was like, he could probably smell that I'm a cat person or something, So I became good friends with the cat, So it's like, it's one of those things. Like the cat was the thing I had the most in common with because I'm a big cat person and I like cats, and the cat liked getting petted. So I'm like, we became friends. It was a lot easier in that case to befriend the cat. I know there's probably people out there that are thinking, what is he talking about? But no, really. Yeah, that was familiar territory for me. Yeah. That was the only familiar territory for me.
Exactly. And I've been exactly where you are. Like, I remember even just as a kid, like, we go over to relatives' houses and you'd be like, it was me and my sister. We were the only kids there. And there was all adults. And it's like, well, what do you do? And, anytime someone had an animal, especially a cat, it was just like, that was my comfort place. I totally relate to you. And so, yeah. And I don't know. I don't know if you feel the same way too. I actually hate small talk. I don't like it.
I don't know, because I guess I could go back and forth because, I've had more opportunities to get better at small talk, I guess, as far as being proficient at talking it and finding things to talk about to fill the void. And I also use it as a fact-finding mission whenever I do the small talk. I ask a lot of questions. Yeah. Because we've said multiple times on the show, people really do like to talk about themselves. So asking open-ended questions, much like we do with Tell Us One Thing, is a great way to kind of fill those voids and actually learn a little bit about people and be like, oh yeah, I know this thing because I too have had similar thing, and you kind of build those bridges. But when the other person is not buying into it, is not answering the questions, is just kind of like, oh, so do you have you seen all that? Oh, I saw a thing for that new movie. Have you seen it? No, I don't really go to movies. Yeah. And that just like kills it. You're like, well, nice weather we're having. Man, it sure is warm.
That's the thing I hate, though. That's the thing that I really dislike. It's like, I love having an in-depth conversation with someone where we're like interacting and we're having a conversation about something substantial, something meaty, something that's interesting. Like, to hear someone tell me about their job and it's like, they're totally into it. It's really cool. And I'm asking questions and they're answering it. That's not small talk to me. That's having a conversation.
Yeah.
It's about the man, God, it's hot out there today. That type of thing. Or the traffic coming over here was terrible. Isn't that crazy? Oh, yeah. I mean, they said they're doing construction on 94 starting this date, and it's going to be going on for the rest of the year. God, that sucks. I know. And, like that stuff, I hate it.
Yeah.
It's just draining to me.
It is, but then in that case, I would try and build it into something bigger if the other party was on board for it.
Yeah.
In that case, like, man, yeah, I once had this thing, and you just kind of, you throw an anecdote at them. And I was like, did you have that happen to you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. And my weirdness, these are things that I don't normally talk about, so we'll just talk about it. My weirdness is like when someone starts asking me questions about me, I get kind of embarrassed because I feel like it's like, well, why, I'm not that interesting. Why do you want to know about me? Like, even if it's just, it's this weird feeling that I get where I'm like, I feel I have this constant feeling of like, you're talking about yourself too much. You're talking, you shouldn't be talking about yourself so much, even though someone is asking me questions about myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel, because I have this little voice in my brain that goes, shut up, Jules, shut up. You're dominating the conversation, and I have to fight that every time because clearly this person has asked questions, but I've had too many times where people have actually asked me questions and then I've started talking and then their eyes are just going around, away, looking to talk to somebody else. And I'm like, yeah, you're not interested in what I have to say.
Or they just start checking their phone.
Right. And so this is why parties are hard for me. I have a tough time with it. It's exhausting. It gets harder as I get older, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a room full of people that I know and I really enjoy, I can be there all night. It's like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's my comfort place. And because it's also for me, and I've talked about this in the past and other people I'm sure have experienced this, is that I feel I am affected by the energy in a room too. So if there are a lot of people who are highly energized,
energetic,
yeah, then I feel that energy, which is awesome. It's like, yeah, let's have fun, all that kind of thing. But if it's nervousness, like a lot of people who are self-conscious and not feeling comfortable or feeling nervous, I feel that too. And it just, it's like the worst squirmy feeling in your gut. Like, I hate that feeling. There's something though that you said earlier, and I think it makes a lot of sense for a lot of us. Back a couple years ago, back when I was actually a step parent before my divorce, I'd gone to this orientation for my stepchild's 6th grade orientation, so like transfer, or 5th grade. And it was like for the parents to be there, and the principal was up there speaking, and he was saying something, to us, and he said something really that stuck with me, and it sticks with me to this day. He says, in this age group, the kids think that every person is looking at them, staring at them, judging them anytime they walk into a room, anytime they walk into a space, and it freaks them the hell out because that's the way that their brain works. Remember this?
I remember that's the way I felt.
Right.
If I had to come into the room by myself, or if I, if I was late to band rehearsal and I came in, every single one of those people looked at me, and I knew it. And even if they didn't, I still felt that way.
Right.
Because I felt like a big old spotlight right on me, and I was like, oh.
But the principal says they think this, but in actuality, they're not, because they're all thinking of the same thing themselves. Now, yes, you walk into the band room late, and everybody turns and stares at you, and their initial reaction was, oh, I'm so glad I'm not him.
Yeah.
And then they go back and they turn it onto themselves and say, oh gosh, like what would happen if that were me? And oh gosh, I would be so embarrassed. And it's just this, it's the spiral. Like they recognize you, but it turns back on them. And those words just like they stuck with me because I think I'm going to theorize this and I want to see what you think about it. I think a lot of us don't outgrow that.
Yeah. I mean, I still feel that, like, like today I went and met, there's a school band convention in the town I work at.
Right.
And I had to go deliver stuff to our one of our fellow raid members is a good friend of mine, and she's a band director. And I forgot to take another shirt with me this morning, and I didn't want to show up to this big convention wearing my work uniform, which is it's a well-known company, and you can see it a mile away. And I felt it. Well, I mean, it's a little different because I feel embarrassed because I was a music education major for a few years, and here's all of my friends who have gone on to have successful careers in the field in which they studied, and here I am in a freaking retail uniform, full of broken dreams and missed opportunities, and I felt like I had the spotlight on me, and so I had to wear this big heavy coat, and it's like 60 degrees outside, but I didn't care. I was sweating, but I felt like I had this big thing. And, and like half dozen people I know from college because they're all band directors now. And so I saw them and got to greet them. And, we talked and got caught up. But then, it turns to like talk about work. And then they're like, oh, you're a manager? I'm like, nope, no, I'm not. And then it's like that mix, the whole spotlight mixes with the ideas of failure and all this other stuff. And I was just like, I just feel like utter poo poo.
Yeah. And it's that feeling of these people are judging me. They have these ideas about me. They think things about me, and I don't like to think of that way.
Yeah, and they probably weren't, but my mind making me think that they were or that they could.
Right.
It's the idea of the perception. It's the idea that they could think that.
Right.
That just dominates your brain and it makes you ready to leave and all that stuff. So
right.
Yeah, I mean some people don't outgrow it. I mean, I know in those respects, I know I haven't in some of those ways. Like first year at BlizzCon, I had those same things. Like I was a fish out of water because I didn't know anybody.
Yeah, and
I was
so
just like, what's going on here?
The question talks about sensory overload, but I think that there's two parts of it. There's like the external input that you get like into a big crowd situation. And then there's also the things that go on in your own brain about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How you're affected by it. Like, so have you been to Vegas before?
I have. I went for a video game convention for Sony.
Yeah.
Sony Online. And I did that, I think it was 2009.
Okay. So you have been there.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I ask is because, I can't think of many more sensory overloaded places than Vegas. There's lights, people, sound, smell. There's energy that's off the chain. It's just like, that is the epitome. And I love Vegas. I love going there, but there's a window that I can spend there and have a great time, and then I am done.
Yeah.
It's just that it takes everything out of you. And I think, if anybody has, if you've been to Vegas, that is the feeling that a lot of people get when they go to things like a convention or even a big party. Or like shopping during a big, like Christmas time weekend where there's just tons of people and there's, everybody's out for themselves and it's, it's crazy. I don't know if you know this, but at PAX, at all the PAXs, they actually have a decompress room.
Yeah. We went by there the first year, last year when we went.
They call it the AFK room.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. Like a little place to relax. Because most people do not exist in that world where there's sights, sounds, all this stuff, busy stuff. And unless you work in a major airport or in a big loud mall, you're not used to large crowds or any of these high stress environment like he says in the message.
Yeah.
So it's foreign, and so you get tired of it after a while, or it's just not what you're used to. And I think that's part of it. It's just that it's new, it's something different, and you're just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah. It's not easy. And so the one thing I will say to anybody who has these stressed out issues is know your limits. Like, for certain, know what your limits are and know that it's okay if you just have to say no, or you have to take a time out, or you have to step away just to give yourself some time. So the recent, like after the election, there was a very large protest that was happening in St. Paul. And my friends had invited me to come. And I really, really thought about it. Like, I really wanted to go, but I also knew that that large of a crowd would be difficult for me because I don't do well. I don't do well when there's not any organized kind of, you know, especially a demonstration. Like, everybody's everywhere and there's people everywhere. And I do better at a convention where, like, there's places to go and you can tuck yourself off to the side. And the last thing I wanted to do was go to this demonstration and then get freaked out and be like, I gotta go, and have to, you know, if I'm riding with a bunch of people, having to inconvenience them, or to be miserable for the rest of the day because I'm just trying to hold it together. And the things that happen to me is I get irritable, I get anxious, I get just stressed out, and just feels like there's too much data, like too much noise, or too, you know, and I just have to step away from it. Know your limits, like know what your symptoms are and the things that happen to you, and be, you know, and don't be afraid to say, I don't think that's going to work out for me. But like a convention I can do. I don't like big crowds though. Like when we stand outside in, like, before BlizzCon with that crush of people.
Oh yeah, the opening.
Thank goodness it only lasts for about an hour and a half, because it, you know, it gets, there's a limit to it that I can handle, and then I'm just like, just no. I'm done. I am done. Get me someplace away from people close by. And I don't have meltdowns, but some people do. Like, some people have anxiety attacks and have stressed out events. And, you know, so I would, you know, you got to know what your limits are to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And it's okay to take a break. It's okay to step outside. It's you know, that's why at PAX they have the AFK room. And that's why, you know, there's plenty of places you can kind of get away at other, you know, conventions and things. You know, if you need to step outside of the party for a bit, you know, go outside, you know, just kind of chill outside on the steps. Maybe there's an outside cat you can just kind of pet for a little bit. You know, hey, you never know. You know, there's, you know, it's okay to take a break. There's no, you know, there's no obligation usually for you to do that. You know, that you have to be in there the whole time. You have to be on 100%. You have to do this. You know, for some people you do. I mean, like if you're the one throwing the party, you do kind of have that, you know, you have that expectation where like people are going to want to say hi, or, you know, you got to control the music, you got to keep up with it. But if you're just a party goer, then, or a convention goer, or if you're shopping, I mean, that's why they have a food court there. You can kind of sit in the food court.
Yeah.
Then again, that's kind of a populated area. You can always go sit in one of the chairs they have, or, you know, there's all those different places and spaces where you can kind of get away for a minute.
Yeah. I think we push ourselves a little bit too hard because we don't want to like step away from the fun, or, you know, and then you wind
FOMO.
up. Yeah. So true. Fear of missing out. But even when I do Well Played, and we run Well Played at BlizzCon, and I mean, I'm being pulled in every direction and people need my attention for, you know, 5 to 6 hours straight. I will look for those moments where things are just kind of flowing okay, and I will step out and like go to the bathroom and just like, and usually the bathroom is like dead quiet and there's nobody in there. And I just take a couple breaths and I just, you know, take a moment, enjoy the silence for a moment, say, you got this, you could do this. You know, and I don't know if people who look at me and see that I deal with this or not, but And if you don't, I'm telling you that I do. Like, I have those same issues. You may look at me at the party and say, I don't think she has any problem socializing with people. But it actually is it's a challenge for me. I love it, but it's a challenge for me. And by the time it's done, Mark Conan, you saw what it was like after last year because we were all staying in the same house together. And it's just this, like, there's a level of exhaustion that hits where you're just like, I don't know what to do anymore with my body, but I'm still awake.
It's like my body is exhausted, but my mind is alert.
Yes.
So what do I do? Do I sit here? Do I lay down? Do I just collapse on the floor and talk?
Right.
What do I do?
Right. And, but absolutely know your limits and don't be afraid to, I mean, obviously we all kind of push our limits and test them and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to say, I need a break. I need to take a moment. Or if you need to say, maybe this isn't the most comfortable situation for me and I need to not do this for this much a time, or I need to limit my exposure to this, or maybe go to a convention for 1 day instead of 2, or I don't know. It's just there are so many of us that deal with this though that I mean, I think even the extroverts deal with it because there's that social anxiety factor, right?
Yeah, the spotlight's on you. What do people think?
Yeah.
You know, what are they going to, what if I trip and fall? Everyone's going to look at me, and then now I've got all these eyes on me, and now I'll be that guy. I'll be the fall guy for the rest of the day. Hey, you the one that face planted the table over there when you slipped? Oh, man. You'll be that guy.
Yeah. Have I ever
told fall guy.
Have I ever told this story about, did I tell that on the show about dropping my violin at an orchestra? Did I tell that story?
Maybe. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but you might have.
I might have. If I haven't, I'll tell it again for people who hadn't heard it. Because I think this is a formation moment for me in my level of handling embarrassment. I was in orchestra when I was in grade school. 5th grade started. I think it started in 4th grade, and I think it was like 5th or 6th grade. And we were doing a concert, and everybody comes out. It's quiet. You know, all of the people, the kids file out and we sit down into our seats, and then we do the tuning of the orchestra instruments. So they play the A on the piano and everybody plays their A, and then we just adjust and they adjust this for us. And I am first chair. So I am sitting out first chair.
Oh, yeah.
Facing out to the audience, like right by the conductor, first violin. And my violin slips out of my hands and clangs to the floor.
Ooh.
And so now my violin has gone completely out of tune, and my conductor, like, he has to tighten the pegs because I'm like 5th grade and I can't do that because I'm not equipped and trained how to do that. So now my entire orchestra and the entire audience is staring at me because I dropped my freaking violin, and I will never to this day forget that embarrassment, that mortification. Like, I can't believe I did this. I really can't believe I did this. Everybody's staring at me. I am a stupid idiot. My gosh, how could you do this? It was like the worst feeling in the world. And so I swore that I would be like, and to this day, this was a formation moment, as I said. So if I do something like that, which is completely mortifying, I make a joke out of it to make people laugh, because then at least I don't feel like a complete asshole. Like, I just don't feel like the biggest jerk in the world, because I'm like, you know, so this day, if I was carrying a violin and I dropped it, I'm like, oh no, you're never going to let me back on this stage again. And then people start laughing.
I really can't carry a tune.
See, rah, rah, rah. And then everybody starts laughing. The moment is broken because everybody is thinking at the same moment, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I'm not her.
Yeah. I had a moment kind of like that at a Star Trek convention when I was 14. Similar age. I was a big old nerd and had a Star Trek shirt on, and I had the little toy phaser and tricorder. And so I'm walking around, and John Delancey, Q, is talking And the way that this place was set up is all the vendors were up on the second floor, and there was a big open space down to the main floor where that's where the stage was.
Right.
And all the things. So I was looking down, watching John Delancey speak, and he's talking, and you got a little bit of the vendor talk, and I kind of bend down to pick up my bag, and the clip on my phaser comes undone from my pants, and the phaser clangs to the floor, the concrete, not all the way down, but just right there on the second floor, right on the edge, and it like clang, 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 and he stops talking and he looks right at me.
Oh,
Q is staring right at this 14-year-old me, and I felt like I could just melt away and just disappear. I felt like I just wanted him to snap his fingers and wink me out of existence for a minute and teleport me away, because I was like, oh no. It was so embarrassing. I felt mortified.
Yeah.
Oh, even though it was probably nothing. I mean, he heard something, he looked up, but to me, it was my first Star Trek convention. First time I'd really even dealt with, celebrities or getting autographs, and I was by myself, so I was just mortified.
Oh gosh. And so the automatic reaction for everybody who turns and stares at you is, I'm so glad I'm not that guy that just did that stopped John Delancey from speaking.
Yeah.
Because he made a noise. Like, I'm so glad I'm not that guy. Because we've all done it. Like, it's an automatic reaction snap thing. Like, we just do it. Because we don't want all of those eyes to be on us and be like, oh, geez. So, yeah, it just those moments. And I think that shapes a lot of times when we go to these big crowds and we do these things, is like, we don't want the attention on us, number one. And number two, there's so many people that everybody's out for themselves that it's like you kind of feel lost. Like you're this speck in this massive vortex of people.
Yeah.
And it can be really scary and really daunting and really upsetting. So,
yeah.
Well,
I was thinking back to what you said, what the principal said about the kids these days.
Yeah.
Thinking of the kids these days, all
kids.
But about the way that kids feel about that stuff. Do you think maybe it might be a little bit more pervasive nowadays because of social media and the way people are if you mess up instantly, so like if a celebrity messes up instantly, it's all over the world. People are talking about it. You're the center of attention. And I don't know any people in high school or anything to know what this is like. If Jimmy falls down the stairs and someone just happens to get it on video, or they see the aftermath, take a picture on Twitter, is he all over Twitter or the school's Facebook page? I mean, that's I think that's a pretty substantial fear. And I think maybe I know I'm grasping at straws maybe, or just thinking too far into it, but you think maybe it's more at the front of their mind because of the nature of social media and how easily our mess ups can be mass distributed and broadcast around the world.
Possibly.
Or at least around the schoolyard.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have a phone in your hand or not, and the ability to video something, or tweet about it or post on Facebook, because the thing is that it existed before that time, right? So if you walked into class and you tripped over your backpack strap and you fell on your face in the middle of the floor, instead of tweeting about it and say, did you see that, this guy falls on his face and does this, that they, like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm not that dude, that they actually just used to talk about it. Like, did you see that Marconin actually did that? Like, did you see that?
Yeah.
And they're in somebody else's class. Oh, dude, like Marconin just took a digger at the floor, and so maybe the method, I mean, it's always been there. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that information sharing has always been there. It's just the methods are different.
Well, yeah, and I think maybe the permanence of it is, and the verification of it, I think is kind of where I'm pulling a differentiation, because a tweet is going to be out there for a while. That video is going to stay on Vine until it goes out, or it's going to be on YouTube until they shut the servers down. And
you have more ways to embarrass yourself or be embarrassed by other people. I do agree with that. Like, the chances of someone catching you tripping down the stairs with a video on, doing, while they're, hey, they're standing there trying to do a Snapchat and you fall down the stairs, they happen to catch it, then they share it across the place. But it's like the the methods of people doing negative things to other people is more pervasive with the fact of social media. Like, they can spread it faster. They can spread it through different venues. It can be
send it to the whole school at once instead of it just spreading via telephone, or like the game telephone.
Yeah.
And with it being like official and verified, and like that one tweet can go out with no, like playing, you play the old game telephone where the message gets distorted over time. With a tweet, it doesn't happen, but with retweets, and if people can do it eventually, but that original tweet can still go out identical as you put it.
Right. And so the other thing that happens is that it becomes permanent part of the internet. In the future, a prospective employer could search your name and find something from when you were in school back in 10 years ago. But because you were a stupid kid and decide, like, that actually makes a good point. Like, let's say, you're a 12-year-old who wants to start a YouTube channel about your collection of Funko Pops. And you start a YouTube channel and you do all this stuff, which is like super, perfect for a 12-year-old, but maybe like you say some stuff that you shouldn't have said, or you called somebody out. And like it unless you've deleted it everywhere or someone hasn't shared it someplace, it could be found again. And I think that is a big. It's probably hard. Like, you would not find stuff about me when I was when I graduated from college. You wouldn't find stuff, and a prospective employer couldn't search the internet and find stuff that I had done as a kid. Yeah.
And it's also a lot easier for the things you do to be forgotten.
Yeah.
Without that evidence. So, I mean, like in that example, if you bite it coming down a flight of stairs, they'll laugh about it for a couple of weeks maybe, or maybe one or two inside jokes with your friends, but it won't, but nowadays it's permanent. It's up there, and people, may not, it'll be a lot harder to forget.
Yeah.
And so that it's just there.
It's a really good point and something to think about when it comes to paranoia of what your actions could turn into, like, because kids don't know. They have no clue as to like what the consequences of some of those actions could be down the road. Like, they're not thinking that way because, you go and ride your bike, let's say you're riding your bike and you create this, let's go some Napoleon Dynamite. You create this sweet jump and your friend films it on their phone. And you do this, sweet jump on the phone, with the camera, but you wind up flipping over your handlebars and breaking your teeth out. And now that's a viral video that's gone all over the place because some kid bashed his face in doing a sweet jump off of a ramp. And you're like, oh, that was great. Well, that video is pretty innocuous. But what if it was something like, I mean, I had a friend back in Madison whose son was like 14 and wound up getting like nude pictures from another girl in his school.
Yeah, child pornography, yeah.
Right. Like, and she's just like trying, she's like 14 years old, but that could get shared, and it's a lot more dangerous than it used to be for people. So I think that there's a paranoia that comes into play when your parents are like, don't do anything that you'll regret. Well, they don't think about that. But it could, like the stupid stuff that I said as a kid, having that be out on the internet right now would be like freaking crazy embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like home movies where you're just like playing with all the toys you had. Like my mom probably has hours of video of me playing with like old Power Ranger toys and Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles, different voices for every character. I would kind of ham it up for the camera and I made my own videos and stuff when I was little. If those were on YouTube, I would be very embarrassed by that.
Yeah.
But I'm happy with it staying at my mom's house.
Yeah.
where it's not shared or liked or retweeted.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. That's kind of where I was, just that idea when you're talking about the principals saying that they feel that way. I just think maybe it could be a little bit more so because of the invasiveness of social media where it's constant. Like if you went home, like, back in our day, when you went home, you weren't on a computer with, and people constantly tweeting at you, and like with the internet, bullying and stuff being a lot more, it's a lot more invasive because you can't go home and get away from it.
Yeah.
And it's in this whole, the whole thing is it's so much more invasive than it used to be for kids. And so I think maybe that's why they could possibly have even more of that idea of, everybody's always looking at them because they're always looking at other people. They're always checking their Twitter. They're checking their Facebook. Beyonce had a new Instagram pic. Taylor Swift just tweeted. What did she say? Yeah. So it's just constant flow of, that kind of stuff.
It's a great point.
I know we kind of went down a different path for a minute, but
that's okay.
It's an idea.
We live in the information, the world of social media where everybody is sharing everything that they're doing and their thoughts that they're having and all of those things. So
used to write it in a journal.
Yeah.
Or a diary.
So now we're in the world where everybody, like, you're speaking and people are listening. We have this platform with the podcast. Like, there are people that listen to us and hear what we have to say. And, sometimes they agree with us and sometimes they don't, but they've chosen to listen. And people who choose to read your social media feed or go out to look for it, it's a constant flow of information out and information back in that we're telling each other about all the things that are going on in our lives. And so it's food for thought when you go into a situation where you're like, hey, I'm out and about and I'm going to this party, and the chances are larger if you're friends of friends and you go to a party where you say, hey, I only know 2 people or 4 people here, but they may have seen something that you retweeted or that your other friends liked on their Facebook page, and they're like, oh, you're that guy? Okay, cool. And you're thinking, what the hell did I do? What did I say?
What did I say?
What did they like?
Yeah.
It's a different world. So, in closing, though, I will say that one of the things that has got me past a lot of the anxiety, past a lot of that, big spotlight is put on me if I walk in the room, is that, what? I can't worry about what every single person on this planet thinks of me.
Yeah.
I can't, because it will drive me insane. And I think that a lot of us have that problem when we're thinking, oh my gosh, what if they don't like me? And that would be horrible if they don't like me. And it's like, well, you know what? The only person you need to worry about is yourself. And because you're the one that's got to live with you. So, but we worry a lot about what other people think of us. And when it starts to consume your brain and you're crippled into not going out or spending time with other people, it can really be detrimental. And
oh yeah.
So I think it's going to be that would be my closing statement on this, is that, not everyone's going to click with you, not everyone's going to like you, not everyone's going to gel with you in places where you're not familiar with them. And that's okay, because you have other people around you that do and have and like you. So
yeah. And like you said, in these big public spaces that you're not really used to, it's okay to know your limits, like Jewel said earlier, and to know when to step away for a bit.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're not going to miss out on too much if you just take 5 minutes to go outside and relax, or take a break to get some water, go walk around the building, do something to kind of decompress.
Yeah.
Go AFK for a couple minutes.
It'll be cool.
It's okay to do that. And then just come back refreshed if you're ready, or know when to walk away, know when to say, I've had it for tonight, guys. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good night. Thanks for the invite. Had a lot of fun. We'll see you later.
Yeah, like that is the thing for me, is I've gotten more comfortable with being like, you know what? I'm tired. Everybody's staying up and they're drinking late. Nah, I think I'm going to go to bed. It's okay. I'm cool with this, because I know that that's where I'm like, I can't stay up more and later and stuff like that, just because everybody else wants me to. And that has been a good thing. It's just to be able to just say, nope, I'm done. I need to rest, or I need to get away from this, or I need, I've hit my limit. Yes.
Know your limits.
Yes. I like this discussion. It went in places I didn't expect it would go.
Yeah, it really did. Them kids and their social media feeds.
I know. I'm actually very glad that I'm not a child in that world now. I mean, obviously you just deal with it if you are, but man, it would be a different world for someone like, because I was bullied in school. You were bullied in school. It's like, man, I can't even imagine what it would have been like being on social media, having that kind of bullying. And that's a whole different topic that we can hit on someday. But I'm glad I don't have to think about that, because it was hard enough dealing with the stuff we had to deal with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know that if I have kids, I'll have these discussions with them and tell them about how I was bullied, and, have all those kind of talks about, what needs to happen. Don't worry about them. They're just who they are.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
It's hard. It is hard.
It is very hard.
We're going to switch gears and we're going to do some fun stuff, which is also known as Tell Us One Thing. And we have 2 questions that Mark Conan came up with. Let's go ahead and do them.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
It is Tell Us One Thing time, and we have 2 questions that Mark Conan came up with this week. Kind of, these are different. I like these.
Yeah, they just kind of came to mind.
Yeah. Start us off with your first one and let us know what your answer is to this question.
Sure. Well, the first question is, what unique or fun thing local to where you live would you recommend to a tourist to do while they're in town? So, somebody comes to town and they're like, hey, I'm not from around here. What kind of local things do you like to do? I used to like to do this all the time when I was traveling for work, is I would say, tell me where your mom and pop restaurants are. Like, I want to know where's the good home cooking. Don't you dare tell me a chain restaurant, because I have those at home.
Yeah.
Is there a local place? Like, I want to get a feel for your local area. And that's kind of the thing. What makes your local area where you live special? What's unique? So, I mean, of all the redneck jokes that there are in the world about Arkansas, there's a lot of cool things about where I live. I mean, we have the Clinton Presidential Library that looks like a trailer, looks like a mobile home, right on the river. I mean, it's this big rectangle. It looks like someone took it off of the back of a semi and just set it on the ground. But I haven't actually been to it yet, but I really want to, because his saxophone is on display there. There's a lot. I've never been to a presidential library, and there's one here in town, so I need to do that. Also, where I work, there's there's a natural hot springs are there,
right?
And it's a good place to relax. That's another thing. Or heck, there's a diamonds. The first natural main place to get diamonds in the U.S. is here in Arkansas.
Oh, really?
So you can go prospecting for your own. You can pan for diamonds. People dig up huge diamonds every so often.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's you just go out into this area. The people that own it are just like, and every once in a while they'll take a tractor through and till up the land to dig up fresh dirt, and you go prospecting. You get to keep whatever you find. Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I would do. There's some local food places that I really like that I'd recommend for them to do too. But just kind of take it all in. Mm-hmm. Dave and Buster's started in Little Rock, the arcade chain. They actually started in downtown Little Rock, and the original one's gone, but they have a new one here. So that's kind of another claim to fame. But yeah, what about you?
So
I know you're a recent transplant to Minneapolis.
I'm a recent transplant to Minneapolis. I've only been here for 7 months, just about 7 months. So it's hard for me to answer this question without, because I haven't done a whole lot of that stuff myself. But in this area too, one of the cool places I've been to is it's called Minnehaha Falls. And it's a big waterfall that is it's beautiful, and you walk around and you can get pretty close to it and see that. And in the wintertime it freezes, so you get to see how cool it looks when it's frozen. So there's that. There's Mall of America, obviously, with the I've been there numerous times. Yeah.
That was an experience.
It is an experience. I mean, it's a mall with a full-fledged arcade or amusement park in the middle of it. And I think, I mean, I go there periodically and catch Pokemon, because there's tons and tons of Pokestops there. So go with Pokemon Go. So there's that, and like Pat Crane answered this question and said all the things. Like there's so many things that you can do in this town. I haven't even scratched the surface. Where I just came from previously in Madison, there were plenty of places that I'd done there too. But there's hell a lot of brew pubs here in breweries here in Minneapolis, so you can find some amazing brews as well. So.
There's some good ones here in Little Rock too. We have like 3 or 4 distilleries and breweries. In fact, I'm going to dinner at one of them tomorrow, so that'll be good.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome. And then we asked the audience what they thought, and you guys gave us some good answers as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shorel at Shorel_MN says if they are shoppers, Mall of America, like you were saying. There's almost always some sort of festival going on in the summer, so those too.
There are every weekend there is some kind of festival happening, and it's crazy. So I came here in summertime in July, so I didn't get the full thing, but hopefully I'll do some more stuff when the winter gets nice. So Alessander said, I live in the land of Lincoln, a tourist town. His house is smaller than you think. The entire street is preserved. Or go to Peoria and fight flying Asian carp on water skis with Logan claws or sword and shield. And then she linked a video that this actually happens.
Oh, wow.
I did not know this existed in Peoria. That's too funny. That's Peoria, Illinois. That's crazy.
Let's see. Erlina says the walkway over the Hudson in Poughkeepsie, New York. It's a 212-foot high, 1.28-mile long linear park that spans the Hudson River. Created from an old railroad bridge, it is the longest elevated pedestrian bridge in the world.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is really, really cool.
That is awesome. Lucas Masseline, who is from Brazil, I believe, said, watch a capoeira presentation. It's a fight style created to look like a dance, so the slave could train without looking suspicious.
That's kind of reminds me of the Pandaren when they couldn't train to have an uprising against the Mogu. They couldn't have weapons, so they started using their fists as a fighting style. That's how the monks came about in WoW's lore.
Yeah,
is because they found a way to fight without the masters knowing. That's really cool.
That is very cool. I did not know that about capoeira. Capoeira, I think it is. Sorry.
That is really cool. Sergeant Zim says a park where you are on the bay and can see Mount Baker, the Canadian Cascades, and the Olympic Mountains from one spot, Bellingham.
That is cool.
So that is really, really cool.
MacGyver said if you're visiting Sydney, Australia, I would definitely suggest going to do the bridge climb. It's a unique perspective on our fair city.
Very cool. One of these days I would love to go to Australia. I'd love to go to Sydney. Have lunch or dinner with him and Natani. It'd be great.
Oh gosh, there's so many folks from Australia that I would love to just hang out with, and
that
is a goal.
Oh man,
that is a goal within the next 5 years. My butt is going to Australia.
Oh yeah, we gotta do it.
The rest of me going to.
Bim says in the chat room that the male trolls dance is the capoeira.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect Nomad
really
said,
cool.
There's so much to do here in Anaheim, California, aside from good old Disneyland. I definitely recommend the beach or medieval times, which is where he works.
Yeah. I still have yet to go to the beach there. I still haven't done that. I need to do that maybe this year if I get to go. Nymphadora says there's actually a lot to do here in Atlanta, but one of the things I'd suggest checking out for people who want to get a good laugh is the Laughing Skull Lounge. It's an intimate comedy club that seats about 75 people, and big names come through here, but it's off of a restaurant called The Vortex. It's a cool vibe and really good burgers. Another place I'd say go to is the zoo because we have one of the most successful panda breeding programs in the world, and we have 2 new cubs right now, and they are adorable. And also one more thing. Every Labor Day, there's Dragon Con. If you haven't been before, it's totally worth it. And I concur because I went a few years back.
Yeah.
Dragon Con is huge.
Are you
and it is very
within
cool.
driving distance to Dragon Con, or is it
It's about 8 hours.
8 hours,
because
okay.
you have to. I have to drive I have to drive across Arkansas, across Mississippi, Alabama, and then halfway through Georgia.
Gotcha.
So it's about 8 hours.
Okay.
It's doable because yeah, you could totally do it, but it's a long drive.
Well, you've done it for San Antonio.
For San Antonio, yeah.
That's why I'm like 8 hours. It's the same thing as San Antonio.
Yeah.
I have never been to Dragon Con. It's something I'd like to see someday, though.
It's definitely it's huge. Like it is like multiple times the size of BlizzCon. People everywhere just taking over Atlanta, and it just cosplay as far as the eye can see.
That's awesome. Let's see. Torque says, I can't think of anything that's really unique here in Toledo, but I'd consider Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, to be local enough. They have some of the biggest and fastest roller coasters in the world.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. 2020. Let me try that again. Take 2. 2020 site says anyone who travels to Colorado needs to drive the Trail Ridge Road through the Rocky Mountain National Park. There's absolutely nothing like it anywhere.
That's awesome. Tattooed Freak says, live music in Fort Worth is something special. I would suggest going to some local bars or clubs and catch some local bands doing the blues country stuff that rolls through North Texas. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Magic Myth Mayhem says, Freehold, New Jersey. During the summer, there are concerts. Local restaurants are awesome, too. And the big mall. Plus, it's not too far a drive from most things in the state, since it's right in the middle.
I know Freehold, New Jersey very well. And, it's not far from the beach, too. So, yeah, you can get there. Yeah. That's my home turf area right there, Freehold. I didn't know you were from Freehold. Very cool. GDSMGL says the Halloween parade in Anoka, Minnesota, the Halloween capital. If you want to come by, it helps to have a chair out there early.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I did not know that this existed either, and that's not too far from here. Halloween Fest. Halloween parade.
Very cool.
Very cool.
That was some awesome responses, guys. Thanks for replying about that.
Yes. So question 2 that Marconi came up with. What food do you really like that other people might find unconventional?
Mm-hmm. And, I was just thinking of, it was kind of along the same lines of what makes your local area special or unique or something different.
Yeah.
It's kind of along those same lines. I mean, for me, there's nothing really, like, really, really out there. I mean, I'm one of those people that like Hawaiian pizza, with Canadian bacon and pineapple. Like, I like the combination of sweet and savory, or all that stuff. Ugh. Oh, you don't like it?
I hate pineapple on pizza.
Oh, it's so delicious.
Oh no, it's terrible.
Oh.
No.
Oh man,
that's just a travesty. I'm sorry, but putting pineapple on pizza is a travesty to me. That's a heartbreaker.
Oh.
Nope.
There was a local place where I went to college, and they would do a Hawaiian pizza, but they'd also put mandarin oranges on it, like tiny little mandarin orange slices on there.
Yeah, no.
Oh, it was interesting because I love oranges. It's one of my favorite fruits, but I also love pineapple more. So, but having both of them on there, I was like, I don't know how to feel about this, but I'll just go with it and get another slice.
I love pineapple. I do not like it on pizza.
But yeah, so it's kind of one of those things. But the one that I pick out is, I love going to Subway. It's a great restaurant. I like it. If they have it, I'll do the seafood sub, which I know is just like fish or whatever. But I'll do that, but I'll put bacon on it.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So it's like it's like my take on a surf and turf.
Okay.
As surf and turf as you can get at Subway. And almost every time I do that, people are like, "You want bacon on that? Really?" And I was like, "Yeah. Have you put bacon on literally anything? It makes it better." Like bacon on almost everything is good. That's like taking a good sub and making it better.
That's funny.
I mean, and so I'll do that. I was like, I'll take the seafood with bacon. What?
Yeah.
And they're like, "Do you want it on?" And it's weird because I want the sandwich cold, but I want the bacon, cooked. So I just throw it in the microwave like they do, and cook the bacon and put the bacon on the cold sandwich.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So it's nothing super wild or weird, but
I don't think there's a problem with it. I just don't ever think I would like put bacon on like a tuna fish sandwich or something like that.
maybe you should try that for science.
In the name of science, could you please put bacon? I mean, people do it.
Yeah, well, you could do a BLT, a bacon lettuce tuna.
Instead of the tomato. That's funny. So your intention with this question was actually like something that's local to your place that you live, or no?
No, just any kind of food.
Okay.
Yeah, just anything something that you would eat. Like if you put, ketchup on, not ketchup on eggs, because a lot of people do that.
Yeah,
but like
they do.
You put ketchup on your peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Ew.
Something that's like, oh, that's weird. Why?
That is
why
weird.
you like that? Like my wife, she'll take a package of ramen noodles and take a bite out of it, cold. Just the raw noodle, just the uncooked noodles. Just take a bite.
Crunchy noodles, just eat them.
Yeah, just crunchy noodles. Just not like sprinkle it on a salad where you can kind of mix. No, just take a big bite of it.
That's funny.
Like, I don't see how you do that. That's an abomination. So something like that, like weird combinations or unconventional stuff. They're like, why you like this?
I have a couple of them. First one that I have is I like raw potatoes.
Really?
Yes. So when I was little, my mom, a lot of times my family would be getting together. My mom would be the one who made the mashed potatoes, and she always cut up, so she peeled the potatoes and she'd cut them in little pieces and put them in the water, and then you boil them and then you mash them. And so she'd be, making these big pile of potatoes, and I would like steal the little pieces of raw potato because I loved it. And I don't know what it is about the taste of it. I don't know. I still love it. I will eat a raw potato. Like I will literally just peel a potato and just eat it raw. And
I've never tried that ever.
There's a weird texture to it, and sometimes a weird, like if you do too much of it, it's a weird aftertaste. But yeah. I just love raw potato. I think it's awesome. Yeah, I used to, I don't know, someone else in my family liked it too, but it was definitely me. I was like, I would steal the little raw pieces. Another thing that I shouldn't do, and I don't do anymore very much because I've been watching what I'm eating, but I will get those packets of cookie dough, like the ones that are like in the flat package that are like,
the little squares,
and I will eat them raw.
Oh yeah. Well, when you were talking about grabbing the little uncooked pieces, I'm like, yeah, like cookie dough. Yeah.
I love those.
I would lick the spoon. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I would just eat it. And I'm like, you're not supposed to do this. I know you're not supposed to do this. My family though,
so good.
My mom and my sister had this thing, and I tried it a few times and I thought it was the grossest thing in the world. They used to eat sandwiches with white American cheese, butter, and jelly. It was butter, jelly, and cheese sandwiches.
Weird.
It was the worst. I could not eat those. It was like, have you had white American cheese?
Probably.
Yeah.
Like it's just the process. Yeah.
So white American, usually they get it at the deli. It's a very East Coast thing. It's kind of this blandish kind of cheese that's just American cheese. And they'd make these sandwiches, and I'm like, why do you like this? And it's like, I tried it once, and I'm like, this is the grossest thing I've ever tasted. Like, it's just, like, the butter is, and then the jelly, ugh. It's just.
What, did they make, like, a grilled cheese sandwich out of it, or is it just cold?
It's cold.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's gross.
Well, I know there's a thing about putting cheese on, like, pie, like apple pie with a slice of cheese on it. I know American that's a thing, cheese. And I would like. Yeah, and I would like to try it. We have a place here that does it, but I still haven't yet. I could see that, and I could maybe see that might be the reason why they're combining the jelly, like the fruit, with the cheese, and it's like a. But that's kind of, I don't know. That's just weird.
Both my mom and my sister would do it.
I haven't watched enough Food Network to be okay with that. I'm close because I love Food Network, but.
That's awesome.
I haven't watched enough episodes of Chopped.
Seriously, I love Chopped. I need to watch more of that on Netflix. I haven't watched that.
So much. Let's talk about weird combinations.
Seriously, I know. So what do the audience have to say?
First item up for bid is from Mehmet. He says ramen noodles with canned chicken and a can of veggies. Nuke it for a few minutes and let it sit. That was probably good. Just kind of, you got get chicken and vegetables, and the ramen, just let it soak in the flavor from the chicken and the veggies. That sounds kind of good.
That doesn't sound weird at all.
Unconventional.
Yeah.
It's unconventional the way to prepare it, but that's like pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd probably try that.
MacGyver says, a food that I really love and Natani made this the other night is baked fig with blue cheese filling and wrapped in prosciutto. It's a wonderful mix of sweet, savory, and salty.
I can get behind that. I would definitely try that.
I'd try it. I'm not a huge fan of prosciutto, but I would try that because I love blue cheese. So.
Oh, see, the blue cheese is I get a hang up on that.
You don't like blue cheese?
I don't like blue cheese. Oh well, there's a place that there's a restaurant that does a salad called Black and Blue where it's got like steak and it's got like a blue cheese dressing and it doesn't taste like blue cheese.
No, so blue cheese crumbles on a steak. Oh, baby. Yes.
I mean, I'll try it, but every time I've tasted blue cheese, I'm like, nope, nothing with weird colors in it. No thanks. Like it's all, I know all cheese is moldy because that's how they do it, but that just seems like an extra level. And I'm feeling like, I don't
like blue cheese crust on steak. Love it.
I will try that.
Okay.
I will try that.
All right. So good.
Lucas Masseline says, churrasco grego. It's like a kebab, but here it's made with leftovers from butchery meat, so it's really cheap.
That's awesome.
Okay, so like kind of like a leftover scraps kebab. I can do that.
Yeah.
Probably tastes good.
Perfect Nomad said coxinha.
Oh yeah.
My girlfriend, who is from Brazil, introduced me to this traditional Brazilian food. It's a tasty fried dough ball with meat inside. They're so yummy. That does sound really good.
Yeah, that does. Man, you're making me hungry. I didn't get dinner.
Oh, I did. Oh. We didn't plan this out very well.
I may have to ask her to make that if I could next time I'm down. I was like, I want to try it.
Can we just hang out and can you make that food for us? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll totally buy. I'll pay for the food.
That's so
Make it for me. Torek says, I actually like to drink those little mini shot sized coffee creamer cups. Just tastes like a very sweet milk to me, but friends think it's weird. Lol.
Yeah.
As a kid, my grandpa used to pour me a glass of it anytime a restaurant had the teacups of creamer, so I guess I just developed a taste for it.
Oh, man. Like, I love coffee creamer. Like, I put it in my coffee, but I don't think I would want to drink that straight.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
Oh, that's probably the weirdest one on here. Broken Bone says unagi, which is freshwater eel sushi. My wife just looks at me with a face that says, "How can you eat that?"
Is that the unagi? Is it the raw eel or is it the cooked eel? Because I've had it where it's on the rice, and it is cooked as far as I can tell.
I do not know.
I've had that. I think
it's just
that
people
way.
eating eel. That's the
just
issue.
eating eel. That's the idea. Yeah. I was like, I have eaten that, and it's fish. It's like fish, like eating fish. It's nice.
Yeah.
Oh man, Zaitam. Anchovy pizza.
Anchovies are nasty. Oh.
I have not done that yet.
I've done it once.
Well, I ate anchovies once, and I it's just like eating the whole thing of something just gets me.
Yeah, no.
Don't eat that whole. One time in Louisiana, I ordered a soft shell crab po' boy. Oh God, no. So it's a sub sandwich. No. And what they do is they take the bread and they fry up an entire soft shell crab. And the soft shell crab, it is molted out of its shell. So it's before it's developed a new hard shell. So they fry the whole thing and they stick it on there and they just cut it in half and they give it to you. And so I'm eating it and you start with the legs and I'm like, hey, crab legs, I like this taste. And then all of a sudden you get into the body and you're eating all of it.
Yeah.
Organs, its last meal, its eyeballs, its glands.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I would never. I can't. No.
And I was like, I don't. And I couldn't get it out of my head. Like Butcher says, it's a crab butt sandwich. It's a crab everything. So like just the idea of eating all of an animal.
I know.
I mean, and I eat shrimp all the time. Like it would rain shrimp and I would be happy but I'm not eating their head. Or like when I eat crawfish, I'm like the whole, you're supposed to suck the juices out of the head. Like, no. I just want the meat, the muscle. I don't care how good it tastes. I'm not sucking out the back of its eyeballs. No, thank you.
Yeah, no. That's why I've never had crawfish because they're like, oh, but you got no.
No, you don't. You don't got to do nothing.
Really
you don't got to do nothing you want to do.
Airlina says Vegemite.
I still need to try that. I didn't get to try that at
It was
BlizzCon
in our house.
I know it was.
BlizzCon. We had an Aussie staying with us who brought Vegemite.
I saw the jar. At the time, I didn't have a chance to just grab I know you're not supposed to just grab and eat it straight by itself.
You would hate that, but you were supposed to eat it properly, and he would have taught you. We had an Aussie, like an authentic person from Australia staying at our house who brought Vegemite all the way from Australia, and you didn't try it.
I know. Maybe next time. Let's see.
Most likely he will bring it again.
Yes. So okay. Yeah. We'll have to do this, and I'll have to set aside a day. Be like, brother, can you hook me up?
Yes. We're talking about Battle Panda.
Yeah.
Battle Panda came and he was in our house, stayed with us, and brought 2 bottles of it, I think. And Sal was like eating that like it was going out of style. And I'm like, nope, not trying that again. I've done it once. Once is enough.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Let's see. Magic Myth Mayhem says pasta sandwiches. You just put whatever pasta you're eating onto whatever bread product you have handy. Works for mac and cheese too. Yum.
I've never heard of anybody doing this.
That is a carb explosion.
Right.
Can I take bread? Can you take that bread and put it on more bread between bread and bread?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Put some cheese on there too for just good measure.
Just spice things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And before we get away from it, my mom in the chat room says, listen to this. Coworkers' family won't eat homemade chili without peanut butter sandwiches.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I guess if they have chili, they can't just do chili with crackers or just chili. They have to have peanut butter sandwiches with it as an accoutrement.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's weird.
Yeah. Ugh. Okay.
A little interesting. So
the moral of this story, question, everything, we eat weird food.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Wow, Felix Wow says try cheese on pancakes.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And Tasia70 says, I love mustard on potato chips too. I have done that. Not intentionally.
A lot of people do ketchup on potato chips.
Yeah, the burger had too much mustard and it fell on my potato chips and I ate it anyway, and that was fine. Because I actually
like tartar sauce on French fries. Have you ever tried that?
I think I have. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of tartar sauce anyway.
Okay.
I'm just not a fan of the taste, but I have tried it and I could see where it was good. Felix, wow, you're winning again. You said when I was in Korea, they put corn on pizza.
Oh, gosh. I love the BuzzFeed posts out there that show you like the weird stuff that restaurants make for people, like the fast food restaurants make for people around the world. And some of those posts are like, I might try that. No, I don't think I'll eat that. Like, it's just some stuff in there. Go out and BuzzFeed. There's like hundreds of those posts over the time.
Oh, yeah.
So this
was some really good ideas.
This fun question. Very, very fun. And that does it for Tell Us One Thing. We post them sometime during the week. We were a little late this week. We got it out on Wednesday, but usually Monday, Tuesday on Twitter and also on Discord. We're on at Tauren Think Tank on Twitter, and you can get to our Discord server through the short link of tinyurl.com/tttchat2. That is how you get there. And you can email us, too, if you've got suggestions for questions. We're looking for conversation starter questions that are going to generate lots of answers that are different, not necessarily like this or that or would you rather or anything like that. So
yeah, and thank you to everybody that writes in and sends us responses. These are always fun to read and to learn about everybody.
It's true. We've learned a lot about people from this thing. And we have some slash moves that people have given out, so we will read them just a moment. Start us off, sir.
From at Restalion, my slash move for my darling at poor old Blanchy, who's moving to be with me as we are about to start our wedded lives together. Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
From Tattooed Freak, /moo to 3 of my Tadpool guildies for helping me out with some WoW time when the token prices skyrocketed and went far out of my price range. I haven't been able to pay for WoW for several months, but I've been able to play through the in-game purchase of tokens for gold from the auction house. When the prices went up, I couldn't afford them anymore, but a few guildies sent me WoW time so I could still play. They sent me so much that I was able to pay it forward and help out another guildie with some WoW time so we could all do some old school raids last night.
That's awesome.
That's super cool.
That's so cool. It's very cool. From RyCP1209 /moo to my brand new little ones in the family, Grayson and Gwyneth, both born last night. You adorable little bundles of joy. And /moo to Marconin. Not supposed to do that. God love you for running the holiday dungeon 30 plus times a day. Hoping you get that massive jostling love rocket. Thank you. Thank you. And also, awesome. Noelle Love did a /moo as well earlier today. She said another one to me because it was hilarious to listen to me whilst trying for the love rocket.
Aww.
Yeah, she joined in on my stream because I play some music and stuff, and she was hanging on that. So
good. Yeah, I'm glad that you're streaming them at least, and people can kind of hang out with you and share in your misery. Console
and hopefully my triumph. Hopefully.
Yeah, because you know what? There's a triumph. You have record of it.
Yes.
And that's the whole thing. Is like I've been trying for how many years? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We've got one more in the chat room, Tasia, if you want to read that one.
Yes, from Tasia70 /moo to my dog Tidbit for just being with me and loving me.
Aww.
Yes. I should give a /moo to my sweet kitties who have just been a bunch of cuddle bugs lately. I have been I'm not under major pressure to find a home right now, but I am searching for a new for a townhouse that I can purchase that will hopefully save me money instead of renting. And the market out here has been insane. Like as soon as something goes up, there's like 20 people that show up to take a look at it. So the competition is fierce. It's like bidding wars all over the place for anything. And so I usually come home dejected after I go check out a place, and my kitties are like, "Mom, you're home. We're so happy to see you. Feed us, please." Okay, now that you've fed us, we love you.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Yep. So /moo to my kitties.
And /moo to my cats and my dog too, because they're the same way. They don't care what kind of day I've had, what people have said about me, what's going on. They greet me and they love me. I took some time with Reese last night. She always loves to. Like whenever I'm going to bed, she'll like kind of lay down on the floor, and I'll usually just pet her with my foot because I'll just like rub her back with my foot. But I actually got down on the floor and and wrestled with her a little bit and took some extra time. So it was very, very cool. So /moo to my animals too.
Yay! So that is a show we have purchased. I'm reading the chat rooms and I said the word purchase. We have completed a show.
Yes. Signed, sealed, delivered.
Signed, sealed, and delivered. Is there anything that you wish to promote for the next couple of weeks? We will not be here. Again, we will not be here next week because I will be in Orlando. So we will be back in 2 weeks. But yeah, anything you want to promote about? Anything?
Well, I am going to stream as many of the rocket runs as I can over the next 5 days that I have left. So if you guys want to join me on that, just follow my Twitter. I'll usually tweet about it, or you can follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Marconin, MARCONIN, and you can join in. Usually I'll play some music and just chat with everybody. It's no big deal. It's usually you just see me waiting for the queue on my DPS or something like that. I have characters in all the different classes and tons of servers and both factions and all that stuff. So if you want to do that and just kind of hang out and listen to music, I'll be doing that. We're working on possibly doing some Triple T HOTS play over the next month to get the Primal Flame Saber because Mount must have it, get it.
Mount's in 2 games.
Yeah. I've never really been a mount collector in in HOTS because I don't really play that much, but it's cool that they're giving me one in both, so I will definitely take it. So doing that, maybe I might stream some mount runs, just other stuff, Miss Pandaria, world bosses, things like that. Just the other mount runs that I do during the week, or maybe do some stuff. So yeah, just check out, watch my Twitter, follow me on Twitch, and it'll let you know when I go live, and come hang out. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, we're gonna put together something for the audience to just do some runs in AI in Heroes of the Storms to try to get the games in for getting them out. So
yeah, just go ahead and do all that, and we'll all get them out together.
Awesome. Again, if you are in Orlando or in the surrounding area, I will be there next week. The meetup is on Saturday afternoon, evening, like around 5 in Orlando. And I have information about the meetup.com link. Best thing to do if you are interested is send us an email, questions@taurenThinkTank.com, and I can send you the information because we are not actually running this meetup. So just kind of passing that along. And but I will be there. Pat will be there. There will be a number of other WoW Blizzard players there as well. Root and Freckleface from Hearthcast, Cuddles, aka the Game Case from his stream, and yeah, should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, be a very good time.
It will be. Let's bring this show home, shall we?
Yes, ma'am. Let's do it.
Let's do it. We're gonna do it just like we always do, and it's like this. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects heard on the show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. You can find us outside of the show on our website, taurenThinkTank.com, and it has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us, too. And did you know that Triple T merchandise is available again? It sure is, ladies and gentlemen. You can get yourself a swanky t-shirt, some sweatshirts, a mug, a phone case, a notebook, and laptop case, and more. You can check that out. All you got to do is go to taurenThinkTank.com/store.
Thank you to all who support our show via Patreon. If you'd like to help out Triple T, you can do so at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank. If you want to meet other members of the Triple T community, we have a Discord server. You can join us at tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can also find us at 140 characters or less for the show on Twitter at TaurenThinkTank. You can also find Jules at JulesRPG and myself, Marconin, at MarconинWow.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, chat room, for being with us tonight and hanging out every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. You can find us through the video stream at twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank or through our mobile audio stream through Alpha Geek Radio at tunein.alphageekradio.com. We love seeing you here with us, however you can join us and listen to the show.
We absolutely do.
Marconin.
Jules.
Have a lovely 2 weeks. We will be back again, and I'll wave to you as I fly nearby.
Well, you do the same, and sure enough, you please enjoy Florida. Enjoy your time at the convention, learn some stuff, and have a great time with all the people down there. And enjoy the warm weather, for goodness sakes.
I know, right? Like, a seriously warm weather. I'm so excited. So we'll be back in 2 weeks, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you soon. For myself, from Marconin, for the entire chat room, until next time, /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
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 Oh, yeah.
Oh, so fun. We need show titles.
Yes, we do. Any show titles you guys can think of?
Show titles. Right, Bib? I love that one. I'm going to play it every day that we do a show. I'm going to play it all the time because I love it.
Did you see that that chibi Tracer figure that they're pre-ordering on the Gear Store?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not interested.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting product.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I might get $50.
Yeah.
Bacon, lettuce, tuna.
Bun sandwich.
Oh boy.
Crab butt sandwich is funny.
It is, yeah. I do like bacon, lettuce, tuna.
I do too. I think that's it. Oh, sorry, my nose is all stuffy.
That's okay. Mine started to get stuffy about halfway through it, and I was like, oh man, I'm trying to talk, but I can't.
Yeah. I'm doing my best not to sniffle in the microphone, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's been happening whenever I do a show now. I get congested, and then it stops when I'm done. So yeah, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, I had to keep muting my mic whenever I had to sniffle as well.
Yeah. Bacon, lettuce, tuna. You win that one. Crab butt sandwich. I do like that one, but I don't know if it's a good appropriate title.
Yeah, that's the only catch. The eyes, the last meal, the glands.
When you said glands, I'm just like, I'm out.
Oh, that was
Freak
my
it
intention.
out.
That was my intention. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so freaking out. You don't even know.
It makes me squirm inside.
Oh, glands. Like, say the word glands, and there's nothing good about that word.
Yeah, it's like the word moist. People just don't like that word.
Doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother me either, because I think of moist cake, which is delicious.
So the thing that the word that used to bother me when I was younger was squelch.
Oh yeah.
I think that's the weirdest word. And my dad used to have a police radio in the house, and there was the button on there was the squelch button, and I'm like, squelch?
Yeah.
That's the weirdest word. I don't like it.
Yeah, and then you can squelch your opponent in Hearthstone.
I always feel like it's like you're sticking them on, you're putting your thumb on it and you're squishing it. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the word squelch puts into my brain.
Mm-hmm. Squelch. Squelch.
It comes with the sound effect. Moist crab butt sandwich. Buttress, get out.
No.
Just get out.
Take your moist crab butt sandwich and get out.
I am never going to eat a crab butt sandwich. So.
What was the gross sounding English words? Oh, wait, hold on. There's the thing that says cringeworthy. 17 cringeworthy words that are almost worse than moist. What does that say?
What?
First one is ointment. And then the second one is flavorsome.
Huh?
I don't know. The third one is fart.
I like the word fart.
I mean, it's very aggressive. But then the number 4 is ginormous.
I love that word.
Which I like it. I mean, these really aren't bad. Robust, babe, eatery, retarded. I mean, I can understand why people would like this. Okay, here's some better ones. Ooze. Ooze.
If you play World of Warcraft, that's all you hear about is ooze.
Yeah. Yeah. Mucus is the next one.
I don't like
that. And the
word.
next two, mucus. What about cyst?
That's fine.
Or pus.
Ew, no, gross. Ew, no.
You don't like pus?
And
then this is kind of a grab back. Conservate. I guess maybe it sounds like consummate. Passion.
What?
Baby bump. Yeah, passion. I don't know. And then
who wrote this shit?
Huffington Post.
Okay.
Number 16 is juicy. I could see why people wouldn't like juicy.
I don't like it when it's across
so
someone's
moist and
ass.
juicy. Oh yeah, like a tramp stamp.
When they used to make those pants, and when it said juicy on the back of their butt.
Yeah, juicy.
Like seriously.
The last one on the list is nugget.
Nugget.
If it wasn't for the fact that when I think of the word nugget, it has chicken mick in front of it, then it might throw me off. But I just think of chicken McNuggets, which are delicious.
I think of gold nugget.
Oh, even better.
Like, because when I was growing up, we lived near Atlantic City, and Atlantic City had the casino that was the Golden Nugget.
Oh yeah.
Well, we didn't live near it, but we, roughly close. So
I heard this list on a podcast I listened to. It's a six words women hate the most.
Okay.
Moist is number 1.
Okay.
So I'll just number 2 is squirt.
Yeah. No.
Squirt.
Nope.
These are all really bad sounding words. Number 3 is panties.
Panties.
Baby girl, you got those are really cute panties you're wearing.
It's a dumb word. It's just
panties.
Dumb. It's just dumb.
You have very attractive panties.
So
Number. I can see your panties.
Okay, stop it. It's really creepy.
Number 4 is chunky.
Have you heard that song though? The chunky song.
Which one?
Have you not heard this song? Okay, you're gonna hear it. Hang on.
Maybe not.
Hang on. I think it's the Bruno Mars song.
Oh, really?
Hopefully this will play. Can you hear that or no?
Ever since you changed something a while back, whenever a song or something starts, it'll last for like 10 seconds and then it fades away.
Oh,
so
really?
I can never hear the ending thing, and I only know it's over by when you say really.
Oh yeah, because there's something that echoes in my system, and I can't play that through here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I will buttress, but I still have 2 more words on my list.
Okay.
And so we've got moist, squirt, panties, chunky. Number 5 is curd.
Curd.
Like cheese curd. So maybe curd.
Yeah, maybe it's just curd. I mean, cheese curd, you know what that is, but.
And number 6, flap.
If you guys haven't heard the chunky song, this is the chunky song. I'm just going to link it so you can listen to it. Something's weird in my system, and I get an echo when I hit my other settings, so...
Oh, is this the one? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, from Madagascar, too, yeah.
I like them chunky. Chunky!
Yeah. I have heard that.
Yep.
That's funny. So, yeah, the 6 words, a moist squirt panties, chunky curd flap.
Chunky. Flap. Yeah, flap's bad.
Yeah, flap is another bad one.
Yeah.
So I guess women hate these words because if you're called chunky or, and all these other words,
well, a lot of them are in reference to like body stuff. And so,
that's probably why.
That's funny. All right, folks, on that lovely note. We will Panties. So goddamn creepy. We'll see you guys. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and thanks, Mark Honan, for that creep.
You're very welcome. You have a wonderful vacation down there, wonderful workation.
I'm so close to not being able to control my laughter, and it's just like, oh no, not chunky panties.
Hey, at least he didn't say moist chunky panties.
Oh God, no. I'm done.
Oh, this could take a turn. Even more so than it already has. Bip, that's a problem.
Oh, no.
That's a problem. There's somebody walk in. That ain't right. That ain't right. See, there you go. There you go. Tasia took it. They're just rolling. They're just running with it. Yeah. Yeah, Tyver's right. We didn't sign off in time.
No.
We've gone for too long. You've been on for too long. It's going weird. We're taking it weird places.
The Tasia.
Oh, you guys still here? Let's get weird.
Tasia, that is awful.
Y'all said it. I didn't
I'm
say
crying.
it. Y'all are dirty. I didn't say that.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. Just,
Oh, God. Ew.
put that on a t-shirt and sell it.
No. Jesus, no. Oh, Lord. All right. We're going to go.
Yeah. Have a wonderful 2 weeks, folks. We'll see you on the internet. And yeah, so on those moist notes,
No.
we will see you guys later.
Slash move, everybody. Bye.
Slash move.